Lady from Michigan, Ms. McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here today. I want to follow up, and I want to do it in a respectful way, but I need your help connecting the dots on the concepts for me. You'd said earlier that we want to protect our children. I think we all agree with that. You know, you'd made a comment that you want to make sure that that your children see you pass away first before you see your children. I mean, I think as a parent, and for all the parents in this room, I think that makes sense. I think what the American people are struggling with, especially, and I'll say I'm struggling with, is just the hypocrisy of you, your department, in this administration, and I say this in the most respectful of fashions. You had said as well, when Ms. Miller-Meeks asked you roughly how many children pass away, you said it was in the hundreds. And I'm in agreement, one child death is too many, right? But we put all of these restrictions on these young children, even though we know that there are other risks. No policy is perfect, right? My question is this then, why do you put your children in a car?
We make sure we put the seatbelts on them as well.
Right, and we have car
50 years
seats,
ago,
right?
we didn't have seatbelts.
Right, but even with that, even with the seatbelts, even with the car seats,
Right.
we
There are
have
things we have to do, right? And
exactly.
we do all we can to protect them.
And as a parent, you make that choice, right? Because if you want to keep your child 100% safe from car accidents, you'd never put them in a car, right? If you wanted to keep your child 100% safe from COVID, you'd never let them go to school. But we don't. We as parents, and parents being the operative word, not the government, if I'm following your same logic, 608 children died under the age of 12 in 2019 from auto accidents, roughly hundreds. Yet we as parents have that, decision. You are taking away from the parents the decision of how to raise our children. So the concept to me doesn't make sense. If we're going to follow the parental science, my goodness, we leave it up to the parents to put their children in a car. Even with the seatbelts, even with the car seats, just seems a little, a lot of hypocrisy to me. And I wonder really who we are trying to serve here. And I mean that in a respectful fashion.
And I appreciate the way you've asked the question. Let me give you, I hope, a respectful response. My 3 daughters were born very healthy. Some parents aren't so lucky. Sometimes you have a child who is immunocompromised. That child will associate with my child, who is very healthy. But if my child contracts COVID and may survive it, that child who is immunocompromised
And I understand where you're coming from on that.
We have
but
responsibilities
no
for more than
different
just
than
our own child.
You're right. But then if you put your child, whether they're immunocompromised or not, in a car, you're relying on somebody else's safe driving habits. It's the same concept, sir.
Congresswoman, you're neglecting the fact that virtually every child in America today is back in school because we took precautions.
With masks. And I think
And
you
living
need to
a full
put the
life.
power, you need to give the parents the science. You need to let the parents parent, the teachers teach, and
Without a
put the
doubt.
power back into the parents' hands, sir. So
As long as we all have to be responsible for each other.
exactly. And with hundreds of deaths in COVID and hundreds of deaths of car accidents, I think the American people are only asking for the same consistent concept across all areas. And I think the frustrating part is the parents want to parent. Have a little faith in the parents. Have a little trust in the parents that they're going to do what is in the best interest of their children, not you, your agency, or this administration.
Or any member of Congress.
Exactly. I would agree. Put the power back in the parents' hands, and we have to look at risk to reward. Every time you put your child in a car, sir, You are exposing them to a drunk driver, an impaired driver, or a bad driver, but that's your choice to make.
And we
Let
take all the
let-
precautions that we can.
And let
so they-
the parents do the same thing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The gentlelady from New Mexico, Ms. Ledger Fernandez.
Thank you so much, Chairman Scott, for holding this hearing, and thank you, Secretary Becerra. Good to see you.